Fire Island shielded many of our South Shore communities from the full force of Hurricane Sandy, but parts of that barrier beach still paid a big price. A new inlet was cut into the island, and now the question remains, is the breach a threat, or is it actually helping the environment? Chief Meteorologist Bill Corbell looks at the answers in the final part of our series, The Next Big One.
When Hurricane Sandy hit, Fire Island did what it was supposed to do. It protected the South Shore, but at a price. Homes were destroyed, sand dunes smashed, and new inlets formed. But this is nothing new. It's been happening with every passing storm since Long Island was formed by retreating glaciers 10,000 years ago. Fire Island is not so much an island as a sandbar. And sand, as you can imagine, is not a particularly stable or solid environment. Nothing demonstrates this better than the Fire Island Lighthouse. When it was built in 1858, it stood at the western end of Fire Island. Now, because of the constant drift of sand, it's 6 miles from the inlet. And Fire Island continues to change. The latest coming when Superstorm Sandy punched several breaches in the Barrier Island, including this new inlet just west of Smith Point Park. It's alarming homeowners along the inner shore who are worried about yet more flooding.
There's no protection at all, so it's dangerous.
And a slew of political leaders called for closing the inlet.
If another storm the size of Sandy comes through, it's going to make it bigger, it's going to allow more water in, and it's going to create the potential for more damage to the properties along the South Shore.
But for others, the new inlet is a gift from nature. It's allowing ocean water to flush out the polluted Great South Bay, causing a nearly miraculous rebirth of marine life.
That's just beautiful up there.
Fisherman Mike Bush says that since Sandy created the inlet, the Eastern Bay has been looking more like the Caribbean.
We've had sea turtles in here, seals. There were about 10 seals that lived on the island during the winter. They've come across the bay into my river. Fluke in this side of the bay, which you'd never see on this side of the bridge.
The breach exchanges ocean and bay waters. It's basically a godsend from that hurricane.
But is it causing flooding on the South Shore? Research by the SUNY School of Marine and Atmospheric Sciences indicates that water levels on the South Shore since Sandy match patterns in similar areas around the Northeast. The study concludes the inlet is, quote, not responsible for the increased frequency of flooding in the western or eastern Great South Bay. And Christopher Solar of the National Park Service says, unless there's a proven threat, they won't interfere with what nature has been doing for hundreds of years.
Allowing nature to take its course is part of what the wilderness designation is about.
Whatever happens with the new inlet, one thing is certain. Because of the relentless action of wind and wave, Fire Island will keep on changing. It is, after all, made of sand. Bill Corbell, News 12, Long Island.
Well, the final decision on what to do with the breach will be made by the National Park Service, along with the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation and the Army Corps of Engineers. Well, for now, they've decided not to take any action to close it, and we'll continue to monitor the situation. We have much more information about that on our website, news12.com, and to see more of Bill's interviews, just go right there, channel 612, and click on News 12 Extra.